So today, James, I'm going to need your math skills to help me with the calorie count of our meal. So, sorry I went your way. Had to squeeze around you.
Well, it's lucky both of us are a reasonably good weight, right?
Yeah. So we're going to talk about the spinach first. We're both drinking spinach juice, and each one of these glasses is one container of this. So these are 2 containers that we're drinking.
How many?
Well, there's 20 calories per 85 grams.
Okay.
And so you can figure that out for the people. I'm just going to drink this down. What's 312 divided by 85?
Well, doesn't divide very well. But anyway, it'd be something like 80 calories, something like that. Does that make sense?
Sounds good to me.
A little less than, we'll say 70.
So there's a whole lot of nutrients in spinach, and you're getting almost no calories. So you drink this, that's nutrient dense. So this has come about because I talked to a man at the library who had obviously read some of my blog, and he said, I'm eating all vegetables and fruit, so why do I still have some weight? He did not have much weight. He looked healthy. He had a little bit of a tummy going, but he had healthy teeth and he looked good. So I think he was taking care of himself quite well. And he said that he was walking fast, 20 minutes one way and 20 minutes the other, which is not a whole lot of walking for a day, but it's a lot more than a lot of people get. So I think he was doing pretty well. Now, these 2 containers of spinach got me this much pulp, not very much. So that's about maybe this much in the container. Once I mince it down, that won't make very many nuggets at all. But so I will save this a couple days until maybe I'll have some more kale pulp or something to add to it, but I won't be able to save this long because the spinach does not store well in the fridge once it's been juiced. So you got to use it up pretty quick to make nuggets. You can just mix it with a little bit of potato, and yeah, the potato's going to add a little bit of calories, not much. And some honey mustard dip, yum. You don't even have to add spices to it, but you can, and it makes it even better. So sometimes maybe even just a little bit of, say, ancho chili powder or something. So that's that part of it. 80 calories down. Now,
maybe 75.
Okay, 75. So that's not much, and that's you're not having a lot of sugar when you go for the leafy greens. There's different vegetables you can choose. Some will be higher in calories, some will be less. Like I brought out these because one thing that I recommend, right now I'm having this, which somebody gave it to me, I'm very thankful. So I will drink it. It has lots of great things in it, but it also has stevia. And I'd rather not have it. It's, as far as sweeteners go, okay, but it's still an excitotoxin. And I don't need things to be really sweet. For me, that spinach juice was actually sweet enough. It was easy going down. Some people have a hard time with that. Try kale. The spinach is easy.
Everything grades down from there, particularly if you chuck ginger and turmeric in the kale.
Yeah, this was easy. Yeah. It was not effort. I could take my time on that. Some people might have some troubles with whatever. So this has the stevia, and a lot of people they've given themselves so much sugar, so many carbohydrates in their diet that now they have diabetes, and things don't taste nearly as sweet to them as they're supposed to. Sweet doesn't taste as sweet once
that
you have
what happens
diabetes.
with
Yeah.
diabetes? Isn't that
And so then
appalling?
you need more and
So
more,
it becomes
right?
a horrible feedback
Yeah,
cycle.
exactly.
Yeah,
So then it gets worse and worse for you. So, just avoid it if you can, because you don't want to start sliding down that slippery slope. So if you can handle it without the sweet, do it without the sweet. So I would recommend just getting, this is an old container that doesn't have, but anyway, I'm just using it to show you. This one, I would just get, my favorite protein powder that I would buy all the time would be hemp protein powder. A lot of people don't like it because it tastes like hemp.
It's like sucking on a rope, I suppose.
Yeah.
Not
Honestly,
that I've ever done it, but
for somehow, like at first when I started with the hemp, I was like, oh, who could drink this? You get used to it. And then it became the one that I wanted to drink most often. So maybe don't start with that. Maybe start with brown rice protein powder, because it doesn't taste like anything. Basically, you can add it to anything, it's fine. But what I would recommend is not buying something like this, which is going to cost you. There's a whole bunch of things in here. What you want is to go for one ingredient. So hemp protein powder or brown rice protein powder, something like that. And then you add the stuff to it. So this time I'm having this, which I'm adding water to, because this is something you should have at home. You should have canning jars. And this is easy to bring with you on a hiking trip.
Kind of old-fashioned canning jars, but they still work, right?
They're awesome.
There we go. It's kind of like trains.
I had some sort of tomato soup in here. Probably strong woman tomato soup, but I don't know. That's what I've called it. Because I use sprouted lentils in it. And it's really high in protein, which is great for when you get home from your hiking trip. But say you're on your hiking trip.
Yeah, and you're all beaten up, right? Is that what you're saying? You got to have something that's ready to go?
You're on your hiking trip. You're kind of pumped, actually, but you need something right there before you go home. You're hungry, and you can eat anything. But
what we like doing now is having a picnic after.
Yeah.
You know?
So yeah, you have your picnic. So
go to another park.
It could be as simple as this. It could be just you have your protein powder already measured out from here. So you have this at home, and you have your protein powder in your jars, and you just take your water from your bottle. So this is 160 calories, so that's a fair amount. I mean, not compared to this. I'm going to add that up in a minute. And you put as much water as you want from your water bottle, which you will have with you, because you'll have plenty of water because you've been hiking.
Screw on firmly.
Yes.
Splashing all over.
And there you go.
There you go, see?
It's as easy as that. And it's as easy as that with that, which is what I would recommend. So, now this hemp protein is, and this is pro fiber anyway. I just get the whole hemp protein powder. And I wouldn't get it in a container, I'd just get it in bulk. But 130 calories for 4 tablespoons. So that one, and you're just getting hemp. And then, if you add one of these suckers, this one is 70 calories. This one's 120. And the one down there is 90. Yeah. So it's the easiest thing to do, because at home, one thing, I would never recommend this because it has all this fruit in it. Get real fruit, fresh fruit. And so say you have a deep freeze, and these smoothies are way better if they're ice cold, honestly.
It helps.
It helps. So if you have a deep freeze and you have some, say, yummy raspberries in there, or blueberries, or cherries from your tree, then you use that. You stick that in the blender at home and with your protein powder, and there you go. And that's with some water. And you don't have to use water. You could use almond milk, which you make yourself, because then you can use the almond pulp, which is high in protein, very useful. Or you can make, if you're on a budget, you can make it out of oat milk, very cheap, very easy. Or you could just use water, it's fine. And so yeah, if you're at home, you should use the frozen berries or whatever, and that'll make the thing. That'll make hemp more palatable. So if you have hemp protein powder and you have some blueberries and some water, it's fine. Word up.
Blueberries makes things.
They do. They're pretty
fairly
good.
strong.
Yeah. And it's gonna be blueberry picking season in northern Alberta soon. So
Looking forward.
maybe a month from now.
Yeah.
And it's a good time. It's a good
Blueberries,
opportunity to
what
spend
else
with your
do they
family.
pick this season? There's
Cranberries
Cranberries, there we go.
and Saskatoons.
Saskatoons, yeah. So what does the chef say? Okay.
Oh, I don't like that, but that's sweet, and I don't like sweet. But I'll drink it down.
Oops,
I'll cover it up right now, because I'm going to go over the numbers with yours. So, my meal was 70. You said 75 calories plus
74,
160,
maybe, something like that.
and in that I'm getting 20 grams of protein just from this. And you know, I don't know what it works out with the spinach, honestly, because spinach is protein is a large molecule, and I'm wondering if the protein ends up in here or in there. I don't know. I don't know how it works out. But we'll be eating it anyway with the nuggets, so I don't really worry about it.
It's not. I don't think that process is going to affect it.
No, and it's just 2 grams of protein per 85 grams of spinach, so I wouldn't have that much from here anyway. I mean, it's decent either way. But, okay, so I was going to run over the numbers with that. So that's why the baby food, I wouldn't recommend this at home. This was given to me, I'm very thankful. But what I use these for is when we're out hiking or when we're on a road trip. Because then it's the same process. You bring your jar, your protein powder, and once you get to your picnic after your hike or whatever, then you put in your baby food into the jar with the water, and there you go. And then you don't have to use something like this that already has the fruit stuff in it. You just bring the baby food. It works really well.
A lot cheaper?
Probably. I've never run the numbers on it.
Yeah.
Baby food's not expensive.
Yeah. Well, it's probably not very good, really. It's just
Well, it's probably not, but what about the stuff in there? Do you think that's any better? Yeah. So, okay.
You're saying stevia's in this crazy stuff?
Yeah, in that one.
Yeah, stevia scares me, so what
Well,
can I say?
It's an excitotoxin. If you can do without it, do. It's way too sweet. Way too sweet. The only people that would think that is tasty would be people that already have issues with sweetness, like diabetes or something. That's terrible. Too sweet.
That's been my general
with
opinion,
those,
and I love sweet.
and he loves sweet. Yeah. So anyway, I was mentioning that I had this earlier today, and it's sprouted black bean organic brown rice blend, prairie blend, and I mean, I would never buy these because you have like, you look at it and you think, oh yeah, wild rice, well that's expensive and it's already in here. So, but you have like what, 10 grains of wild rice in this bag? Like they don't put much. They put, whenever you get a blend, it's the cheap stuff. So you'll get lots of brown rice. And there wasn't even that many, weren't even that many, right? Sprouted black beans.
Sprout.
Okay.
I gotta say, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But you don't get much, is what you're saying.
No.
Mainly package.
Yeah, and you get mostly, they'd give you more of the cheap stuff, like like the wild, like
brown
the
rice hulled
brown,
millet.
Yeah, or
So
the
you
millet.
could always
Millet's cheap, too.
feed that to your little bird.
Yeah.
Don't do that.
So,
Wild rice, what was it, sprout? Black beans, daikon radish seeds. I've never even heard of
okay. So you're going to have a few more calories in the beets, but they're nutrient dense, so eat them. And the broccoli, hardly any calories. You don't have to worry about that either. And James has red peppers here with his broccoli.
Yeah.
And so
I'm kind of
whenever you're eating
it right here,
nutrient dense vegetables, it doesn't cost you calories. Where you're gonna
broccoli's healthy.
Yeah.
And with my taste buds. I love it.
It's good. So I just cook that in the steamer over top of when I'm cooking the rice. So that's done. And the beets I'd roasted in the oven a couple days ago and then put them in the fridge. So, or maybe yesterday. Can't remember when I did that. Anyway, the rice, it says the serving size is 1/4 cup. And that's 160 calories. Now, I didn't give him only a 1/4 cup. I gave him about a cup. So how many calories is that?
Okay,
160 times 4.
Should be something like 640.
Okay, so that's a lot of calories. So what's really, if you're eating a whole food plant-based diet, this is still awesome. This is, you know, these things are healthy for you, but that's where your calories are coming from for the most part. I tell you this, which makes it even higher, right? And this is the least healthy. This isn't the healthy part. This is what makes it yum. So he has pomegranate on there too, but this has whipping cream in it and has some sugar and some cornstarch, and it has some good ingredients too. But
That's right in that curry there, right?
yeah,
It's not bad.
which
Pretty good. You know what really makes it rough, aside from the wild rice?
huh,
Well, it's the
pomegranate. Yeah. So try to liven things up as much as possible with the fruit and some yummy vegetables. You know, the broccoli doesn't look that attractive, but you sprinkle some slices of red pepper on top of it and it looks pretty.
See, I'm shish kebab.
Yeah. So, and the same with the pomegranate arrows. You put those on anything, it's going to look pretty.
Mm-hmm.
And so you eat with your eyes first, and that's going to be a much more attractive meal than that. But I'm just showing you this to show you can eat healthy on the go while you're hiking. Because if you're only getting 20 minutes, even if you're walking really fast, if you're only getting 20 minutes one way, 20 minutes the other, then maybe you want to, and you're still looking to lose a little bit of tummy weight, then maybe you want to go on a hike to Waterton, which is beautiful this time of year.
Yep.
The flowers are blooming, and it'll be a wonderful, memorable experience for you and your wife.
And on the way back at Wolford Provincial Park,
To have
near
your picnic.
Cardston. There's other ones down there.
Yeah.
Is there a police point down there? Can't remember all the names, but there's a lot of ones down on the prairie.
You
They're
can hit
not
a lot
that
of nice
exciting,
places.
but hey,
Or
not
right
so
there.
exciting, still can be nice. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying?
So, and we like to hit the places like that midweek, just because people still, I don't know why, but they're still busier during the weekdays, or during the weekend, the parks, even in the summer. When it's not holiday season for people, wow, is it ever?
Well, I think it's because some
makes a
people
big
still
difference.
work.
Yeah,
through
some people
the
do.
kids get the day.
But this, per 80 milliliters, is 70 calories. And I tried not to give him more than that, because it's easy to
Well, it
just
has
go,
whipped cream in it,
yum, and
yeah.
pour on a whole bunch, and then you really stack up the
It
calories.
has whipped
with
cream
that.
in it.
Yeah. So, and it's not very healthy, really. I mean, it has, not only does it have whipping cream, but it,
Well, the
like I
coconut
said, it
itself
has
is gotta
sugar.
have-
Yeah, it has coconut, and that'd be fat too, but at
Yeah.
least that's healthier fat. It's still, I mean, it's still very high in saturated fat, so you don't want to eat too much of that. But anyway, it makes it a little easier for the vegetables and stuff to go down if you have a sauce. But I would rather make it myself.
Anyway, you got
But
a good balance.
it was
of
given
stuff
to me,
there.
I'm thankful.
No. You don't want to put too much in, and you don't want to drown the basic, like the rice or whatever.
Yeah.
Good mixture. It's a great dish.
hmm So if you want to tone down how many, like my protein, my meal with this and the juice is higher in protein than James's is right now. So, which is fine, but it's something to think about. If you're aiming for, like, if you're exercising more, you'll need more protein. And you will need more carbohydrates to energy to burn off too. So this, this might be a better meal for, say, before your hike, the night before.
Night before.
Yeah. So
you don't want to eat too much the same day.
No. So this would be better the night before, because he'd be getting, I gave him a cup of this rice blend, so he'd be getting 20 grams of protein still just in this. So maybe he's getting about the same amount of protein as I did, but I mean per calorie he's not at all. So he's getting way more calories.
Well, it's important. We've maxed
But they're
out
both
over.
nutrient dense. They're both great meals.
We've done like 10 hours of hiking.
Yeah.
I mean, there are people who do way more.
So you're going to burn that right off.
I think so.
Yeah. So you just plan to. The summers are beautiful here, and the week is supposed to be amazing. It's going to be a nice, hot week.
You might want to head up to the mountains. Just
You
to
might
keep
want to.
cool.
Yeah, exactly. Head for the mountains.
It's quite a bit cooler up
And
there. Now understand, when you get out hiking, you soon make up for that cool, right? You build up your internal heat.
yeah. So bring lots of water.
Especially if you're on a south-facing slope with no open water. I don't know if there's that much cover.
Maybe a sun hat. Definitely put some sunblock in your backpack.
Lots of water.
Yeah. Because you're going to be out there a while. And you don't want to plan for the long hikes to begin with. You want to work your way up. So, and steep. I mean, steep is tough for me. When, like, I can do the horizontal just fine. We could go forever. And I start doing the vertical, and so it's hard for me. But you just work your way up to that, right? So you just plan for maybe not the longest hikes in the world for your first few times.
Well, the thing to do is start in the spring with
Yeah.
riding in stone.
Sure. places
Riding in
like
stone's
that.
way better
Yeah.
in the spring. You go there
Exactly.
in the summertime.
Too hot.
You'd better be hoping to swim.
Yeah.
But it's brutal up there. Same sort of thing with Dinosaur Provincial Park. Is that
Yeah.
provincial or national? I can't remember.
It's provincial,
Provincial.
still, I think.
Yeah.
But it's a good one.
I think it should
it's
be
worth
national.
hitting.
It's just hit that in the off season, unless you're intending on
Yeah.
swimming in the Red Deer River or whatever that is.
So yeah.
We went there in the spring. We were suffering. We had a big old dog.
Oh yeah,
Bass
he was looking for the water every time.
Yeah.
He'd be sniffing out because he was bass down. He had a good sniffer on him.
He
And
knew where the water was.
he knew where it would have been
It would have been a
eventually.
dry spring. It had
And-
sunk down. You could see it was
You could see
places-
the mud was,
Yeah.
there was still some places where there was mud, but he couldn't get to the water, so he'd find it. But yeah, we had to give him some water.
We had to
He
give
was
him
not-
lots of water.
He
He was
was not
getting very
finding it on his.
disappointed.
He was very,
Well, we called the term bummed. He'd get
Yeah.
tears in his eyes.
yeah. Oh, he felt things very strongly.
He would, he literally cried.
Hmm. But I don't think, had he found water there, I don't think we would have wanted him drinking it.
No.
Because I don't think how good that would have been. But anyway, that's all I really had to say about this. Is it's easy if you're eating whole foods plant-based meal like this, which without this, because this was not this is not whole foods. And
It still tastes good.
It's still, yeah. But then yeah, you can put on the calories. It's fairly easy to do when you're eating the rice and stuff like that. But just work it off. Plan to eat that the day before you go on a hike. Go on a hike, it's gone. You still have all those wonderful nutrients and that energy is a blessing too, because it gave you the energy to hike. And then that'll build your muscles.
It builds up
And then
muscles.
You need
If you
more of
build up
this.
muscles, it doesn't have to be a lot.
No.
Then your metabolism rate goes higher. So you're
Yeah.
just burning off calories while you're sitting.
While you're
So,
sitting.
this is especially addressed to young pups. I see it at university, and it is scary. It's not just appalling. Kids 18 to 22 years old, and I'd say more than half are seriously
overweight. Like
What's that
obese.
about?
Well into the obese category.
Yeah, it's just, I don't know what's going to happen to them.
Got to get
as they
active. It's
older.
a beautiful summer.
Yeah.
It's beautiful in Waterton. You'll want to escape the heat here on the flats of southern Alberta. Head for the mountains where it's a bit cooler. And
Do some walking around town
yeah,
too. What the
sure.
hey? I mean, I've got 5 fractured vertebrae. I don't do much walking, but I do a little bit of it.
we walked
You
down
have trouble with
today.
your back, and we walked down to
And
the
you
bank.
were hurting a little bit, but not
I
too
was.
bad.
Oh, yeah, I was hurting even before I made the turn,
Yeah.
but I've hurt worse on starting out
On the
a walk,
hikes, yeah.
and 10 hours later.
And we get her done.
So it's if we can do it when it's hurting, when you're 18, 22 years old, it's just a matter of time.